All right, Maddie, welcome back to the Ask Maddie show. Maddie, how are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Always happy to be here, ready to talk about some crypto today.
Absolutely, guys. We got a lot of questions. We did an Instagram story. We asked you guys to bring your questions, and you guys left a lot of questions. So we're going to be addressing a lot of those first, and then we'll get on to some of the other questions you guys left on other platforms. So you're going to want to make sure follow all of our socials at CryptoCharge on all platforms so you can stay in tune with what we are doing. Before we get started, though, become a member at CryptoCharge.com. You can click the link in the pinned comment below. Become what can you become, Maddie? A crypto charge member, 2 week free. Jeez.
Absolutely. Two week free trial, no credit card required. Once you guys check it out, part of the clan here.
Absolutely. And Maddie will be giving you guys a breakdown of the platform at the end of the show, so you're going to want to stay for that. But on today's show, your guys' comments, your guys' questions, we're going to be going through all of that. Maddie, are you ready?
Let's get after it.
Are we still hyped on Casper? Going to start DCAing over the next year. Maddie?
Yes, we are absolutely still hyped, fully on board the Casper train from engine to caboose, already ready to go, right? Like when you have these opportunities, when you identify a project this early, and especially when you identify a fundamentally strong project in a bear market, capitalize on that, right? We're talking about Casper trading at currently 3.6 cents, and our targets are upwards of 80 cents, a dollar, even more than a dollar potentially if things really get rocking and rolling. So don't sleep on this. Do some research on the fundamentals. Definitely a huge opportunity with Casper.
Maddie, don't you think, we're excited for XRP this cycle, but I think second in line there might be Casper to see what it does. Would that make a lot
Yeah.
of sense for you too?
Casper's really creeped up on me. I have other allocations within crypto. I've got my other bags and my other ISO 2022 tokens, but Casper's really kind of the whole package. You've got everything you could possibly need to build without having to even integrate other blockchains and have it all ready to go right there. So, as an all-in-one solution for enterprise, I'm finding myself really DCAing more heavily into Casper than XRP right now, just because I'm building those XRP bags so heavily for this last several years. Really trying to beef up the Casper bag as much as possible before we crack over 5 cents.
It's the ETH killer. Just kidding. All right, let's move along. Will we see the last dip, or did the run on the banks change that?
Yeah, so everyone's always looking for, where's the bottom? Was that the final flush out? One more flush out. And then you've got the other side of Twitter that, is always ready for one more black swan. And, you've got the riddlers and the fortune tellers out there, making vague predictions about how the markets are going to crash even deeper than, the average lowest price that everyone's anticipating right now. So, a lot of what we're looking at is, people look at these individual events and they go, okay, that's going to mark the bottom. But if we look at this from a more macro perspective, we have to understand how the Federal Reserve and how the world is dealing with not just this banking crisis, but the fact that we're essentially in recessionary type conditions right now. So right now, we're still in a quantitative tightening environment, meaning the Fed is making credit very expensive. They have recently started putting more things back on their balance sheet, which is a sign that we could be moving towards quantitative easing. But while we're in the environment of quantitative tightening, we are absolutely in a fragile state and have the opportunity to potentially move lower. So, as much as I would love for us to be ready to be done with this, right? I think that we've probably got a few more months at least of maybe some choppiness, some more bearishness. I don't think we're necessarily ready for like a parabola yet. And if you believe in the Bitcoin 4-year cycle, which has so far proven to be pretty accurate, right? We see that reward cut in half, and we generally see Bitcoin do really well, and then altcoins kind of follow behind that. You guys really shouldn't be expecting anything wildly exciting for 8 to 12 more months, and that's kind of just where my head's at. I'm just here for it if it happens earlier, but I'm going to stick with more realistic expectation of 8 to 12 months.
Exactly. If you guys want more breakdowns of the Fed, I'm pretty sure we do that a couple times a week, Maddie. So if you guys want to get in tune with that, I know a lot of people in crypto, especially crypto influencers, start talking about the Fed. They start talking out of their ass a little bit, Maddie, and it's not,
Right.
all in line there. But we do that weekly, guys. So if you guys want to be in tune with what the Fed doing, which is affecting crypto, you guys definitely want to become a member. All right, let's move along. Matic or XTC Tezos for higher targets, Maddie?
Yeah, so we can actually jump to the charts for this one. The main tool that I like to use to kind of forecast targets is going to be the Fibonacci tool. And Fibonacci tools are helpful because not only, once you select a range, are they going to give you opportunities to say, okay, here's some good areas where I could potentially find a better entry than current market price. It's also going to extend the sequence further and show you where price could go in the future, even if we don't have price action in that area yet. So let's go ahead and just take a look at a couple different looks here. So let's go ahead and just come out to a weekly chart here, just so we have nice clean price action here. And with Matic's one of those coins, and this to me is an imbalanced chart, meaning that there is areas that are significantly lower here that should have been satiated at some point. It's possible that some of these charts just go on forever and they never get filled, but it does make me nervous from that perspective. But that being aside, if we were going to measure swing high, swing low, so 4 cents down to this, fraction of a penny down here, you guys can see that this Fibonacci range is actually pretty solid. You guys can see that it predicted this, 55 extension up here around $2.18. We almost reached out to the 89 around $3.42. We found support on the 8 Fibonacci here. So this is a relatively good range, right? So it shows higher prices, could be upwards of, $5, $8, $14, $23, right? And if you look at, from current market price, up to these next extensions, 400% or a 4X, you get a 7X here, you get an 11X there, and potentially like a 21X there. So there's definitely opportunity from current market price for Matic. But let's go ahead and take a look at this Tezos chart. Let's remove some of the previous ranges we have on here. And Tezos actually did not make a new all-time high in this last cycle. So what we can do is grab the 2017 high, which is roughly 1229, 1230. Go to the swing low over here. And you guys can see exactly what happened. What's wild about this particular chart is that we look for kind of this golden pocket. We look for retracements. If we're going to see rejection, we're going to see it from generally like a 618 or a 702. 618 is considered phi. It's considered the golden number within this Fibonacci sequence. But 702 is kind of right between the 786 and the 618. So it's going to kind of give us that little bit of wiggle room in order to be incorrect, right? You guys can see actually on this weekly chart, nailed it twice, then firm rejection. So, from just a technical perspective, right? Because we're not measuring these from fundamentals. We're measuring these from technicals. And we can look for any of these three targets up here to be reasonable targets, anywhere between the 1.618 and the 4.236. Current market price up to the 1.618 gives us a 1600% or a 16x, to the 2.618 is a 28x, and then a full extension would be a 46x. So from just a technical perspective, I personally believe that Tezos has more upside. Fundamentally, I think that there's greater adoption with Matic and Polygon right now.
Very nice breakdown, Maddie. Technically, I'd rather invest in XRP, but that's just me. Let's move along here. Lonnie Loera, he's back for another question. Appreciate this video more than you know. Let's say I want to throw 1K. Would XRP be a good investment long term? Thanks.
So first of all, great that you're looking to get invested in the crypto sphere. Now still a good time. We've had really nice appreciation as of late, as of today, March 28 with XRP trading a little over 51, 52 cents right now. When you have an amount that you want to start with and you say I have $1,000, think to yourself, first of all, is this the only amount I want to invest, or do I want to invest this initially and then add to this monthly or add to this biweekly? That's going to be something that you want to consider. If this is going to be all of your investment, you're not going to add anything to this, and this $1,000 is all you're going to invest, what I would recommend is investing 20 to 25% of that as your initial investment at market price. So you kind of establish a position, you kind of scratch that itch of not being in the market, and then take the remaining $750 and consider investing that, as a dollar cost average. So either every 2 weeks or every month over the next 6 to 12 months. And that's going to give you a better average. If you are planning on adding, in addition to this, maybe you can invest the first $1,000 today or over the next couple months, and then every 2 weeks or every month, pick a budget that you can stick to and invest that into XRP. But I would definitely recommend adding XRP to your portfolio. It's a staple in mine, has been for about 6 years.
We did a large video on XRP last week. You guys definitely want to go check that one out. Actually, I'll put like a little card above Maddie's head there if you guys want to go watch that. So we're only going to do 2. I know you guys you guys have a bunch of XRP questions. So we're only doing 2 today. So here's another one. Verdet82. Dude, which year I had to buy to have gains?
This is always like the timing of the markets that everybody wants to do, and a lot of it comes down to people not paying attention until everybody's talking about crypto. And by the time everybody's talking about crypto, you've already missed out on the majority of the gains that have been on the table. So, like for example, the best times to buy are when everybody's the most pessimistic, when the world feels like it's collapsing around you. So the most recent best time to buy XRP was in 2020 during the C19 crash. That I don't know if we're allowed to say that on YouTube without getting flagged, but so during that time, right, every market crashed, right? The stock market capitulated, crypto market capitulated, gold and silver were trading at absolutely disgusting levels. I think silver's trading like $12 or $14 an ounce. Everything was selling out. But nobody wanted to get invested in that time because everyone was hyper focused on, losing their job, the economy collapsing. We had no clue on, how this was going to affect us long term. So, if you had bought even like a couple $1,000s worth, in 2020, you would have been able to 15x that at the top of the 2021 cycle. And there wasn't even a new all-time high that was made. So, you absolutely can over, long periods of time do really well with assets. And that's part of the importance of not trying to time the market, right? Of course, we want to try to lower our average, get limit orders at prices that are advantageous to us, dollar cost average as consistently as possible, because you're very, very unlikely going to lump sum invest at the exact right time and then sell at the Pico top. So scaling in and scaling out is the best way to go about that. And that's something we walk you guys through Monday through Friday every single day.
Great breakdown, Maddie. I'm going to bring up this question. I wasn't originally, but you started talking about Fibonacci's when you're breaking down like Tezos and Matic. Chicken, frog, what are you talking about Fibonacci for? Maddie, can you give the breakdown about Fibonacci theory, the sequence, everything that entails with Fibonacci and why it's so crucial with how we invest?
Sure. So, with technical analysis, it's simply just in a way to evaluate charts. And I've been doing data analytics of different kinds outside of charting for many, many years, whether I'm looking at solar companies that were startups, and their data and trying to analyze it and efficientize, right? There's lots of tools out there that you can use to illustrate and to analyze. And same thing with the charts, and not to say that, there's one method that's better than another. Some people really enjoy strictly trading off support and resistance. Some people enjoy Elliott waves. Some people have lots of indicators they like to use, moving averages, right? And there is a confluence of things you can use to get a better picture. But my favorite tool to use is the Fibonacci sequence tool. So within nature and all kinds of things around the world, you can find Fibonacci sequences. And it's basically just adding the previous number to the sequence to get the next number in the sequence. So when we use it within trading, let's say I select a range, right? So let's say that the high of a period was $1 and the low of a period was 25 cents. And I want to know within that range, what is 50% of that range? What is 61.8% of that range, which is considered the perfect ratio within the Fibonacci sequence? Those are areas within that range that we can identify and say, this is a good area where price is likely to pull back to. So that can help us identify areas to enter. Now, the sequence can also be applied to extensions. So we can obviously divide the sequence and we can put it into fractions, but we can also expand the sequence. And of course, those become whole numbers instead of retracements and fractions, right? And those extensions can help us predict targets in the future. And a lot of people don't really believe it or think that it's kind of just like all made up until I show them Bitcoin and the Dow Jones and a lot of other assets that have respected Fibonacci's over decades. I'm not talking about days or hours, decades. And then it starts to click with them. So Fibonacci is something you got to see for yourself. Very powerful tool. Recommend looking up just the concept even outside of trading so you get a better idea.
Great breakdown, Maddie. I know that's very important for what we do, and you've been, you're very level-headed on Fibonacci theory, and it's funny because we do a lot of content and people are asking, Maddie, how do you predict these prices? How are you even like blurting out a price prediction? And it's from those extensions, right? And so right. Team, if you want to know how to use a Fibonacci retracement tool like in TradingView, become a member. And before Maddie, so we're done with questions here. Do you have anything to leave the team with? Anything about the current crypto market? Any words of encouragement?
Yeah, so for most of you guys out there right now, if you're not in crypto, or let's say you're just getting into crypto, or you've been finding our content and you're like, hey, I think I kind of want to get involved with crypto, I don't have a ton of money, don't feel like this needs to be a gate-kept industry. And I feel like there's a lot of people on Twitter and YouTube that make you feel like this space is so complicated and like you have to have 10 or 20 or $30,000 in order to make any sort of meaningful money. That's absolute garbage. You can start with an amount that is good for you in your budget. So please consider starting with that. And a lot of the space can be a little bit complicated, and that's part of the reason why we've created Crypto Charges. We want to help you guys navigate that. We want to help you make this an experience where you're not only understanding the investing side of it, you're also understanding the technical analysis side of it. You're also understanding the fundamentals of the technology that you're investing in. So don't feel like you need to rush all in or stay all out on the sidelines. Just like anything in life, when you're learning a new skill, you're learning something that's going to improve your life one day at a time. Ingesting a little bit as you go, you're going to be successful long term. So you guys have an opportunity now between now and April of 2024 to get positioned, because we generally do see a very parabolic activity during that next halving. So you basically have 12 months from today, from this video, to get prepared. So if you guys want me to guide you through that, show you exactly what I'm doing over the next 12 months, sign up at cryptocharge.com. You guys can get a free trial, jump in that Discord, ask me questions. And I really want to make sure you guys have the best chance of success.
Words of wisdom, Maddie. I know we're beating on the drum of cryptocharge.com today, but it's important, Maddie. We do a show every single day. So this isn't
right.
You guys may know us for like the Ask Maddie show or our socials, but we are like heavily invested into cryptocharge.com. So obviously become a member. Matthew's about to break down the platform for you guys. But until next time, we're done with the questions here. See you guys.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I know that we talked quite a bit about Crypto Charge on today's show, but I wanted to show you a little bit about our platform and some of the features that I think you guys could really benefit from. So like I said, we do 5 live shows a week, Monday through Friday, covering everything from the macro, breaking down the fundamentals of the industry news, the fundamentals of projects, and of course, look at the charts every single day. We also do a morning update, so you guys get a 3 to 4 minute morning update covering everything from the stock market, oil, metals, crypto, giving you guys that bird's eye view. We also have our coin library here. So we have a bunch of coins that we've reviewed live on stream, give you guys the critical information, our entries, our exits. The game plan is here for you guys in the coin library. We try to make this as simple as possible. You guys can sort through this a million different ways. We also have the new Crypto Charged Up program. And if you don't know what your risk appetite is, you can take a quick risk assessment test here. It'll tell you which risk appetite is best for you. You pop in an investment amount you want to invest here, and then it'll drop you into a category and tell you exactly how much to buy of which coin, where you can buy it, making that guys really, really easy for you guys. And we also have our weekly play section here. So, you don't have to wait for the market to just go up in order to make money. We show you guys how to use some of the leverage trading platforms like KuCoin and BitGet. We give you guys the exact parameters of, hey, here's where we're entering, here's where we're putting our stop loss, here's where we're taking profit. And we even have a calculator in here to help you manage your risk and say, I only want to risk this much. It'll tell you the exact position size to open. So, give us a check out, guys. CryptoCharge.com, 2-week free trial. Hope to see you guys there.